So I saw The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim in theaters, a new Lord of the Rings anime film. Here's my review. Directed by Kenji Kamiyama, this movie is set 183 years before Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy, the greatest movie trilogy of all time in my opinion. And I was looking forward to watching this since I'm such a big fan of that trilogy. But while it is initially exciting to return to Middle-earth on the big screen, The War of the Rohirrim has disappointingly turned out to be one of the most aggressively okay movies I've seen this year. Out of all the groups of beings that exist within Middle-earth, I tend to find the human characters to be the least interesting. There are, of course, exceptions, but that's how I typically feel towards them. And I had a particularly hard time investing in this movie for that very reason. Besides a select few characters and the decent voice performances behind them, like Hera, the lead of the movie, played by Gaia Wise, her father, Helm Hammerhand, played by Brian Cox, and Wolf, the antagonist, played by Luke Pasqualino, I found the rest of the characters and their voice performances to be just as bland as the story they inhabit. A story that also features glimmers of needless fan service. The pacing of this movie was all over the place too. There were parts I found genuinely engaging, especially the action sequences, which are the most thrilling and well-directed parts the movie had to offer. But those parts were always immediately followed by long stints of scenes that dragged down the movie's momentum. I do not believe this needed to be an over 2-hour experience, as there's just not enough compelling material here to justify that length. And even though I think the movie does get slightly better in the second half, it's not by much. Also, when it comes to the animation itself, it's a mixed bag. It's a combination of 2D and 3D animation. At times it looked absolutely stunning. At other times, however, it looked wonky. Ultimately, some entertaining set pieces, as well as a few cool characters and voice performances, aren't enough to save this movie from its overall tepid delivery. I expected more and I was left feeling underwhelmed, which is a shame because I wanted to like this movie. I give The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim a 2.5 out of 5.